Shalom. I don't know how the lighting is. Hopefully you can hear me. Tonight, obviously, we are giving Yahowah the glory tonight. I want to share a particular message that Abba has been pressing on my heart since this morning. I mean, deep. I wasn't expecting it, as always, but I shared something on my Facebook last night. And after that, just didn't even think anything of it. And so in my time of prayer, I came across, in my time of prayer, there was a lot of things that was just deposited into my spirit, which is deep, deep. And so the title of this particular very important message, which is called For the Sisters, okay, this is not for men, this is for the sisters, the power of woman over heaven and earth. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, I pray that this word which you have given me to share, I pray it will come forth in truth, in love, in power, in humility, in meekness, in holiness, and in peace. For it is written in your word, in the New Testament, without peace and holiness, no one shall see you. And you are faithful and true to your words. You are not a man that you should lie. So I pray, Heavenly Father, that this message will go forth, glorifying you and convicting the hearts of your daughters to purify ourselves, to make ourselves ready for your kingdom come, to make ourselves ready for the kingdom that is being established under Yahoshua, Yeshua, HaMashiach of Nazareth. And we thank you so much that you're so patient and long-suffering with us, but you will only be patient and long-suffering with us for a season, and then our time is up. Let us use this time that you have given us wisely. Let us not squander it. Let us take these things to you and ask of you, and give us a love the truth. For if we truly love the truth and get rid of the lies and hate the lies, we will be set free from everything that the enemy has been using against us and against each other. Be glorified, O Yah, in this message on this night. I pray all these things in Yahoshua's name. Amen. Okay, so this message is extremely important for the sisters. Okay, I titled the message because this is what he was pressing on my spirit. The power of woman, okay, over heaven and earth. And this is deep, y'all. You know, the last video I talked about, so you want to be the bride, right? And I mentioned something about makeup and jewelry, but, people, there's a lot of, some people say, some believers, some sisters say, oh, it doesn't matter. And others say, well, it does matter. A lot of this really, when it comes to what matters, it usually has to come from the revelation of the Holy Spirit and a conviction and a response to that conviction. Some people are convicted and then they don't change. But this message that ties into that regarding the outward appearance or outward apparel is very, very critical because, well, y'all deposit on my spirit, it can cause heaven and earth to fall. The power of the woman can cause heaven and earth to fall. So you're probably wondering, what is heaven and earth? What are you referring to? Causing angels and men to fall. So let us go to what I previously posted on my Facebook, which was yesterday. The message was proof that the message of proof. I'm hearing noises. The message of proof that the apostles and Yeshua actually quoted from the testament of the 12 patriarchs, which is in the case that I quoted the testament of Reuben when he was dying. A testament was recording of what he was sharing to his brothers and to his children to remember, so that when he passed away, they can, not fall into sin or know what's getting ready to happen in the future and to make themselves ready for it. So I'll start with what inspired me to even start there. Okay. So I'm going to first go to what I quoted from last night on my Facebook page. Okay, so we're looking at the Testament of Reuben. I'm turning it here. The Testament of Reuben. Here is chapter 5, starting at verse 4. It reads, "For a woman cannot force a man openly, but by a harlot's bearing she beguiles him." Okay, she tricks him, she deceives him, lures him. Beguile. Okay, you can look up that English word, beguile. Verse 5, "Flee therefore fornication, my children, and command your wives and daughters that they adorn not their heads and faces to deceive the mind. Because every woman who uses these wiles," and we're going to go into the definition of wiles, "has been reserved for eternal punishment." Verse 6, "For thus they allured the watchers who were before the flood. For as these continually beheld them," meaning they saw them all the time, every day, continually. You continually saw these women looking the way they were looking, okay? "They lusted after them, and they conceived the act in their mind. For they changed themselves into the shape of men, and appeared to them when they were with their husbands." Verse 7, "And the women lusting in their minds after their form." They see these men, that to them they think it's men. They look, "Oh man, he looked fine, he looked good," but they don't know, right? "Gave birth to Nephilim, giants. For the watchers appeared to them as reaching even unto heaven." Big, husky, giant. Okay. If you read in the book of Enoch, you see that the watchers were a type of angels that were gigantic. Now, not all the angels looked as gigantic as the watchers, but the watchers were a form. There's different types of angels. There was a form of angels that were huge. They are the ones that did not fall away, that are still in the heavens. They are naturally gigantic. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. Okay, all right. And then chapter 6 goes into some advice for men to not fall into that type of temptation with women. All right. So that is what I shared. And then I said, looks familiar. Where have you seen flee fornication? But first, let's look at the word wiles. Wiles. Please, I advise you, there is a woman's product right now on the market called Wile. Do not buy that product. Okay? Because this is what wile means. It means a trick, a stratagem intended to ensnare and deceive, a beguiling or playful trick, skill in outwitting, trickery, guile. In the verb form, it means to lure by, as if by a magic spell, entice. Okay? So this is what the word wile means. So it's saying wile. So the women are doing something with their head and with their faces. Okay? That is creating this luring effect on the mind. You're not seeing the true woman's face. You're seeing something else that is seemingly attractive. Okay? That breeds something in the heart and minds of men. Okay? So now, where do we see? I'm going to reread that verse 5. Let me reread verse 5 of the Testament of Reuben. Okay, the oldest son of the 12 sons, in which we have the 12 tribes of Israel from. Okay, he's the oldest, and remember, he actually committed incest and he lost his blessing that way. So he's trying to emphasize to his children, like, don't do what I did. Okay. So when he says in verse 5, listen carefully. Flee therefore fornication, my children, and command your wives and your daughters that they adorn not their heads and faces to deceive the mind, because every woman who uses these wiles has been reserved for eternal punishment. Does that seem like they're going to enter the kingdom of Yah? You know, the kingdom of Israel through Messiah Yahoshua, Yeshua? No. Okay. Now, I know a lot of women are told the lie that this is just to enhance your beauty. It makes you look pretty. Okay. That's the lie. But the truth is, in the spiritual realm, and I actually asked Abba about this back in 2001, and he actually gave me a direct answer during the time of prayer, in which he categorizes the wiles that women use on their hairs, on their heads, and on their faces, things that adorn, you know, the body of a woman. He said, he referred me to he had me go to Revelation chapter, sorry, I gotta get this. Revelation chapter 22. Okay, I'll start at verse 12. It's a little bit ahead of it. And it reads, okay, obviously I'm reading from KJV related because they change all the wording, okay, in the modern Bibles, okay. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. I am Aleph and Tau, the beginning and end, the first and the last. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter through the gates into the city. Okay, we know that city is referring to New Jerusalem. And for without, meaning on the outside of that, are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. I, Yahoshua, have sent my angel to testify unto you these things in the assemblies, in the churches. I am the root and offspring of David, the bright and morning star. Okay? Stop at verse 16. So here what we see in verse 15, when he said, outside are the dogs, the sorcerers, the whoremongers, the murderers, the idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. Yah told me directly that the outward adorning, you know, the putting on of makeup and things that hide his image, that hides, is a lie, and that would be applicable to verse 15 of Revelation chapter 22. Yeah, he considers it as those who love and make a lie, because it's a lie that your lips are a certain color. It's a lie that your eyebrows are a certain shape. It's a lie that your hair looks a certain way. Okay. And he doesn't want us to lie with our mouths, which is with our soul. He does not want us to lie in the spirit, and he does not want us to lie through our bodies. Okay. So a lie doesn't only apply to what you say. A lie applies to also, you could lie in your spirit. You can lie through your soul, and you can lie in your body. So lying in your body is what is seen. Okay. My fingernails are this color. You know, if I change the color, then I'm not telling you the truth of how I actually look. Okay. So he told me back in the spring of 2021 that is what he considers it's a lie, and that is the category. I'm sure it probably even goes as far as sorcery and whoremongers and idolaters, but the main thing he mentioned that the surface of it all is a lie. Okay, it's not the true, it's not his true image being expressed in a female. All right. Okay, so I'm going to proceed forth with what we read in the Testament of Reuben and look at First Corinthians. Okay. So I'm going to read what First Corinthians says. Now, you just heard me read from the Testament of Reuben. Now, check this out. First Corinthians chapter 6, verse 18. And it reads, flee fornication. Every sin that a man does is without out the body. But he that committeth fornication sins against his own body. Okay. Let's look at also insert for 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 5 through 10. If you want to take the time to read through the whole chapter 11, do so. But I'm pulling these out for a reason. And it reads, starting at verse 5, 1 Corinthians chapter 11. But every woman that prays or prophesies with her head uncovered dishonor her head. For that even all one as if she were shaven. For the woman be not, if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn, meaning shaved. But if it be a shame for a woman to shorn or shaven, let her be covered. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head. Okay, man not to ought to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of Yahowah. But the woman is the glory of man. Okay, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head, okay, because of the angels. What? She ought to have something on her head because of the angels? What? A head covering is considered power? What? Okay. I'm sure you're probably trying to scratch your head. It's okay. I love you. Okay, let's look at the next one that I actually posted on my Facebook. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 3, and it reads, whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair, okay, the head, wearing of gold, the jewelry, and putting on the apparel, okay, like the tight-fitting clothes, okay, trying to look good, okay. There's a reason why you see that mentioned in 1 Peter chapter 3, in 1 Corinthians chapter 11, and also the fleeing of fornication in 1 Corinthians chapter 6. Now, based on what I read with the Testament of Reuben, you can see, and I'm sure you should be able to see, that he was quoting from the Testament of Reuben. Okay. The apostle was quoting from the Testament of Reuben. And again, you hear it, do not adorn, do not adorn, do not adorn. Do not adorn your head, woman. Do not adorn your face. There's a reason why, okay? And the Testament of Reuben explains why. Now, there's other biblical texts that confirms this, okay? That what you saw in 1 Peter chapter 3 and 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 18, there are other scriptures that confirm this. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to reference Genesis chapter 6. Let's start back from the beginning, okay? We're going to use this as a reference. And I'm eventually going to tell you, I already told you what Alba told me this morning, but I just want to expound so you see that I'm not saying this out of the blue. I'm not making it up. It's not about being, this has nothing to do about being, holier than thou, super religious. The thing is, holiness is very protective for us. And when we are in our place, we exalt Yah's kingdom in the heavens and on earth. And when we don't, we cause them both, heaven and earth, to fall. Okay, that's how powerful, even though we're not really strong, that's how powerful we are. Like that hidden gem, that precious hidden gem. So, Genesis chapter 6. Turn to Genesis chapter 6, starting at verse 1, reading through verse 1 through 7. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and the daughters were born unto them, that the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And Yahuwah said, My ruach shall not always strive with man, for he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years. Verse 4. There were Nephilim in the earth in those days, and after that, when the sons of Elohim came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. And Elohim saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented Yahuwah that he made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And Yahuwah said, I will destroy man, whom I have created, from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and creeping thing, and fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them. Now, if you look at verse 7, look how much of his creation on earth was corrupted through these women joining, causing these watchers to lust after them. It caused not only man to fall, it caused the beast to fall, it caused every creeping thing to fall, it caused the fowls of the air to fall. Everything on the earth was starting to just completely go into corruption, all because of the appearance. Okay, I am hearing something right now. Okay. Now, let's go to now Jubilees. Okay. Now I know a lot of people might not have Jubilees. Jubilees was actually found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Okay. If you read it, if you take time to read it, you will see that it's very much biblically accurate. Okay. As I said, they found in Dead Sea Scrolls. And I have this one right here. The Book of Jubilees, the Selling of Time. Okay. Okay, I'm going to. One moment. Rachel, I'm still doing recording. Thank you. Okay. All right. The good thing is that you can edit live streams. So that is what I'm going to have to do because of the interruption. All right. So the cool thing about this book, you see it's in, he has it in Hebrew and in English. So the Hebrew text is very, very important because you get a lot more meaning from reading the actual Hebrew. Okay, so now let's go to Jubilees chapter 5, verse 1 and 2. Okay, and it reads, starting at chapter 5, verse 1 and 2. And it came to pass when the children of men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the Malachim, the angels of Yahuwah, saw them on a certain year of this Jobel, meaning Jubilee, that they were beautiful to look upon and well favored. And they took themselves wives of all whom they chose, and they bare unto them children, and they were the Anakim. Okay, they call the giants or long-necked ones. I guess in Hebrew it means long-necked ones. Okay, verse 2. And violence increased on the earth, and all flesh corrupted its way from man unto cattle, and unto the beast, and unto the birds, and all creeping things upon the earth. All of them corrupted their way and their customs, and they began to devour each other, and violence increased on the earth, and every imaginations of the thoughts of all the children of men was only evil continually. Okay? You saw that in Genesis. This just confirms it more, that it corrupted what the woman did by her appearance, it corrupted everything. Earth was falling down. You know, they talk about London bridges falling down. Earth was falling down, falling down, falling down. Earth was falling down because of the women. That's power right there. Okay. All right. So let's look at another text. The book of Enoch. I have this right here. Jediah's book on the book of Enoch right here. And a lot of these texts comes from the Ethiopian Bible. The Ethiopians have this in their Bibles. Okay, they've had it in their Bibles for hundreds of years. So a lot of this came from the Ethiopian text. But as he said, he translated it from the Hebrew because they had it in the Hebrew originally. Let's look at Enoch chapter 6, verse 1 and 2. Okay, the book of Enoch chapter 6, and it reads, "And it came to pass when the children of men had multiplied, that in those days beautiful and comely daughters were born unto them." And verse 2, "The angels, the sons of heaven," okay, the sons of heaven, "saw and lusted after them, and said to one another, Come, let us make us wives from the daughter of men, and beget us children." Okay, there you have it right there. And it gives the names of some of the princes, some of their head leaders that joined in the fall. Let's look at Enoch chapter 7, verse 1 and 2, further down. "And they took to them and all the others with them." Okay, they listed all these princes or head angels of the watchers, all their names, those who fell. "And they took to them all the others with them unto themselves wives, and each one chose for himself one, and took for themselves to go in unto them and cleave unto them. And they taught the women what? What did they teach them? They taught them witchcraft and sorcery, and showed them unto them the cutting of roots and branches." Okay, and now verse 2, "And they conceived and bare mighty giants, and their bodies were 3,000 cubits." Okay, so you see right there in the book of Enoch, and this is what I'm reading from. Okay, hopefully you can. I don't want it too close. Okay. As you can see there, you know, once this happened, and these angels fell, these watchers fell, the women started doing what? Witchcraft and sorcery. All because of the woman adorning her head, okay, whatever she's putting on, earrings, whatever. She's adorning her head, and she's adorning her face, just like we read in the Testament of Reuben. And she's causing these angels, these watchers, to lust and cause them to fall. And when she caused heaven to fall, earth fell too, and it fell prey through witchcraft and sorcery. And this is not what we see so prevalent today. Things weren't like this, not even in America or throughout the world 200 years ago. The way women adorn themselves today, this witchcraft and sorcery is abundant these days, because this is mauling after what these daughters of men that drew these watchers to them. Most of the women are doing the same thing these days. And the sad thing is that the enemy has convinced us that it's okay. And yet the truth of the matter is that this is what caused earth to fall and heaven to fall. It caused the angels, the watchers to fall, and it caused men to fall. So you're causing heaven to fall through angels creating lust in angels, and causing men to fall, creating lust in them. The power of the woman over heaven and earth is like a secret power, like a like a secret weapon. I mean, a hidden gem and yet a secret weapon that could elevate the kingdom of the Most High or cause it to fall. Consider that just by adorning the head and the face. The problem that we see a lot of times in the churches these days is that the lie is so normalized. We've been programmed, okay? We live in the world of good and evil. We're either programmed to do evil or programmed to do good. And there's a lot of deprogram of evil we have to go through in order to be reprogrammed to do good. Because you just saw what I read in the Testament of Reuben, in which he said that any woman who uses these wiles, the adorning of the head, the adornment of the face, anyone who uses these wiles are reserved for what? Eternal punishment. We know what eternal punishment is, right? You don't get into the gates. You don't go to the New Jerusalem. Okay? This is serious. It's serious. Because remember, it's mentioned in the New Testament. It won't matter if we say, Lord, Lord, I prophesied in your name. I cast out demons in your name. I did all these mighty things in your name. I used the anointing. I sang in your name. And then he's going to say and look at you and say, depart from me, you workers of iniquity. I never knew you. We don't want that. We shouldn't. How shall I say it? I will share a testimony, two testimonies. Rachel Chisulo, she has a channel on YouTube and Facebook. She talked about a woman of Yah who was very much a prayer warrior. She fasted, she prayed, she had the gift of prophecy. She was a prophetess. And she said she knew her very well. She knew this woman very well. And she knew that the Lord had corrected her about her apparel, about her appearance, to get rid of the nails and her makeup and stuff. And she just said, no, the Lord still talks to me. I still do all these mighty things in his name. I don't need to do that. That's just too much. And she never changed. Now, here's a very interesting thing. Once the woman died, Rachel Chisulo went before Yahoshua. She asked Yeshua, and she said, where's this sister in Christ? Where is she now? Can you show me where she's at now? She's such a great woman of the Most High. She's been such a blessing to me. Where is she? And it's just what she asked. And he showed her. I don't remember if it was a dream or a vision, but you can go look it up in her testament. She's something about worldliness, because that falls in the category of worldliness, the adorning of the head and the face, and really the adorning of the body these days. It's a category of worldliness and vanity, but worldliness. And she said that the Lord showed her that she was in hell, that woman, that prophetess, that woman who, she said she was a prayer warrior, fasted and prayed, and yet she saw her in hell, in a pit. And she said that I guess the demons were peeling her nails and laughing at her while she was trying to hold on to this ledge, not fall down into this abyss. That's what the Lord showed her. Showed Rachel Chisulo, this woman that she knew, and they were peeling her nails because that's what she loved doing. She loved painting her nails, polish, fingernail polish. And she's crying out like, why am I here? Okay, because it's a wile, it's a tool of deception. And we know deception means it's a lie. Like it is, like I said, that the Most High told me back in the spring of 2001, it's a lie. And he can't permit that in his kingdom. He can't permit that in his house, because why? If he permits that in his house, the woman or women that he allows in, that he compromises and allows into his house, will cause his kingdom to fall, cause angels to lust, as well as men, even after this age. It's a very, very deep, serious thing. And I think the problem is that we take it way too lightly. We just think it's super religious. He ain't interested in all that, without taking the time to even ask him. I would be like, do you even care about his heart? Or do you love the lie so much that you just cannot give it up? Or you feel like you're bound to that? I pray in the name of Yahoshua HaMashiach of Nazareth that he frees you from that. Receive that freedom. Get that freedom. This is a serious thing. This is not harping on, oh, don't you wear makeup? Don't you wear jewelry? It's serious. You're causing heaven and earth to fall. I just said to Abba, I was like, how many angels right now are watching you every day? And they're just like, and you over there going, yeah, I look good, girl. And they're just like this, writing. I'll give you something else. There was a woman, I'm not going to go into detail, that I had for, you could say, part-time work-related incident. Would see her on online and converse with her periodically. And she wore what many people would say, she had her hair, she did hair, braiding and things like that for females. And she wore her tight clothes and things like that. And when my interaction with her ended, which ended abruptly, I wasn't even expecting it because, like I said, this was work-related matters. The Most High showed me in a dream that there was a seducing female spirit attached to her. He showed me that two things, that whenever I saw her, this spirit was trying to lure me. I was like, but in the spirit realm, the Most High showed me what I was doing. Every single time I would see her in the spirit realm, I was doing this. I would look away so as to not be tempted. I would look away while I'm writing or typing, whatever I was doing in the dream. And he reiterated in the dream that she was the spirit that was operating through her was doing seduction and violence. I was surprised to hear that, seduction and violence, and that I had resisted. He showed me how I resisted by turning my eyes down. That seduction and that violence that was trying to, that spirit was trying to inflict on me through her. And I was shocked. I was just like, wow, I didn't know that was going on. Because you see people you see women looking like this every single day. And I mean, it's a serious thing. I can just say it's serious. The power of the woman, dude, you're the glory of man. The man is the glory of Yahuwah. So it's like glory unto glory. If the man, not if, but since the man is the image and the glory of Yahuwah, the woman is not only the glory, not only carries the glory of Yahuwah, but the glory of man. So you can imagine the portion of glory that both men see and the angels see. And we just don't think anything of it. Oh, y'all. Woo! Abba really did a work on me this morning with this. Okay. Let me go a little bit further into First Ezra, chapter 3, verse 1 through 13, and First Ezra chapter 4, verse 13 through 41. And if you're wondering, oh, well, my Bible doesn't have that. Look, the King James Version had First Ezra for 274 years. Now, why for the past 138 years, why did they remove it? Okay, think about that. Why did they do it? It's been in the Bible. It was even found in the look, y'all. They even found quotes of it. They even found the book in the Dead Sea Scrolls. So they had it in the King James Version, took it out, and then in 1947, found the Dead Sea Scrolls, and they found the first Ezra in the Dead Sea Scrolls. So anyway, boy. One more testament. Donald Faulkner, that's one of his channel of a prophet of the Most High. He's actually physically deaf, but he sees many things spiritually. So he shares somebody's testimony in one of his animations, a woman's testimony in France, where Yeshua took her up to the gates of heaven, and Yeshua told her, go ask the angels what will happen to women. And so she does. And she says to the angels, what will happen to women, to most women? And the angel said, oh, there'll be few women in the kingdom. There's not going to be as many women as men in the kingdom. And she asked, well, why? Then the angel goes, well, since you ask, oh, because of adorning of the hair, the wearing of wigs, makeup and jewelry, tight clothes, things like that. He's like, because of that, they won't enter into the kingdom. And, in the animation, the angel's pretty casual about it. But the truth is, because of what I just read, that adorning causes not only men to lust, but angels to lust. So just think about how many guardian angels you have around you right now. And you daily adorning yourself, your head, your face, your body every single day. And they have to endure looking at you while serving the Most High and writing your book of your life each day as you go by. And they have to guard and protect you, right? And minister to you. And yet they probably have to minister to you like this, because you're causing the angels to lust or tempting them to lust. These are the ones, I'm not talking about the fallen ones. The fallen ones fell, the watchers fell, but not all the watchers fell. So essentially, women are still tempting angels and men because they continue to adorn their heads. And this is why witchcraft is so much more prevalent these days. Think about it. Was witchcraft as prevalent 250 years ago? So common. No, but when women started to adorn their heads and their faces, look what we have. There's witchcraft and sorcery everywhere. Everywhere. Because of women doing these things with the power that they have, the power to cause both heaven and earth to fall. This is a serious matter. And I don't think people realize how serious for women, for our sisters in Messiah. It doesn't matter what gifting you have, what anointing you have, how many times you heard from, if we carry any sin with us that we haven't repented, even the adorning of hair and the face, we are not going into that kingdom. Donald Faulkner shared another animation from another woman, and she was who really loves Yeshua, okay, what she calls Jesus Christ. She really loves him, and the Most High gave her I'm not sure if it was a vision or a dream, but in that particular experience, she was wearing her, her tight-fitted, Christian t-shirt and her jeans and some high heels. And it was the rapture. She said it was the rapture, or the taking up of souls, okay? The catching up of souls. And I discussed that a little bit on So You Want to Be a Bride. And she's running. And she's like, yes, he's here. She's like, aren't you going to take me? And you know what Yeshua told her in the dream or the vision that she had? He said, change your clothes. He said, I can't take you. And she's like, huh? He said, change your clothes. He's like, I'll take you, but you got to change your clothes. Okay? So these are just extra testimonies to just show you the seriousness of these things. This is not something to take lightly. Do you love yourself more than you love Yah? Or do you love the world more than you love Yah? Do you love worldliness more than you love Yah? Because the world is passing away, but his kingdom is forever. And he's not going to just let any of us into his kingdom just because he loves us. Because he knows even if you love somebody can just come in and mess up your house. You'd be like, that relative. Hold on. That relative so and so. Yeah, I love her or I love him, but shoot, I don't really want him coming to my house or because they'll be messing up stuff and saying all these things. Y'all know, or arguing. This relative. I love my grandmother, or I love my brother, my sister, my uncle, my cousin, whatever. But you say, well, they always like to argue. Okay, it's the same thing for Yahoshua. Okay, Yahoshua HaMashiach of Nazareth, Yeshua HaMashiach of Nazareth. Okay, who many call Jesus Christ. Okay, he's like, I love you, but I just can't let anybody in my house. You're gonna mess it up. You're gonna mess it up. Okay, let's look at First Ezra. This is when Zerubbabel is chosen among these three men. Okay, I might not read chapter 3, but I'll paraphrase. He was one of the guards that guarded King Darius, or in Hebrew, Yahawash, and so they did a challenge. They said, well, let us see if the king will give us a good gift. Maybe the king will clothe us in purple, drink in his gold cup, whatever. He shall sit next to, this is verse 7, I'm sorry, and he shall sit next to Darius because of his wisdom, and shall be called Darius, and shall be called Darius his cousin. Okay, so they had a challenge between three men. They said, well, let's see who could give the best words of wisdom to the king of Persia and Midi. Okay, so I'm going to go to First Ezra chapter 4, verse 13 through 41. But take the time to read First Ezra's chapter 3, verse 1 through 13 to just set the stage of how this happened. How does Zerubbabel get the favor of the Most High to take him and many men with the utensils of the temple back to Jerusalem, Okay, starting at verse 13 of chapter 4 of First Ezra. As I said, if you need to find it, you can click on the website King James Bible online.org/1 dash Esdras, which is ESDRAS dash chapter dash 3 slash. Okay, and you can pull it up that way, or in chapter 4, you just do chapter 4 instead of chapter 3. Okay, so you can find this online very easily. All right, so here's what Zerubbabel said. He was the third guard, young man guard, who said, and I'm sorry, I do need to establish this. Okay, I'm going to go back. Yeah, I do need to establish this context. I'm going to go back to chapter 3, verse 9, and it says, so they said to each other, okay, and said that when the king is risen, some will give him the writings, and some, and of whose side the king and the three princes of Persia shall judge that his sentence is the wisest. To him shall the victory be given, as was appointed. And so the first one wrote, wine is the strongest. The second wrote, the king is strongest. The third wrote, women are strongest, but above all things, truth beareth away the victory. Okay, and then they took their writings and they gave it to the king, King Darius. Okay, the king of Persia. So the king of Persia is reading all their letters, and he gets to Zerubbabel's letter. He's the third, and he gets to the Zerubbabel's letters. So going to First Ezra chapter 4, verse 13, here's Zerubbabel. Then the third, who had spoken of women and of the truth, this was Zerubbabel, began to speak. Verse 14, O ye men, it is not the great king, nor the multitude of men, nor is it wine that excels. Who is it that rules them or has lordship over them? Are they not women? Verse 15, women have borne the king and all the people that bear rule by sea and land. Verse 16, even of them came they, and they nourished them up that planted the vineyards from whence the wine cometh. Verse 17, these also make garments for men. These bring glory unto men, and without women cannot men be. Yea, verse 18, yea, and if men have gathered together gold and silver, or any other goodly thing, do they not love a woman which is comely in favor and beauty? Verse 19, and letting all those things go, do they not gape, and even with open mouth, fix their eyes fast on her, and have not all men more desire unto her than unto silver or gold or any goodly thing whatsoever? And Verse 20, a man leaves his own father that brings him up and his own country and cleaves unto his wife. Verse 21, he sticketh not to spend his life with his wife, and remembereth neither father nor mother nor country. 22. By this also you must know that women have dominion over you. Do you not labor and toil and give and bring all to the woman? Verse 23. Yea, a man makes his sword and goes his way to rob and to steal and to sail upon the sea and upon rivers. And verse 24. And looked upon a lion and goes in the darkness, and when he has stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he brings it to his love. Verse 25. Wherefore a man loves his wife better than father or mother. Verse 26. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. Verse 27. Many also have perished and have erred and sinned for women. Verse 28. Verse 28. The other one was verse 27. Verse 28. And now do you not believe me? It is not the king great in his power? Do not all regions fear to touch him? Verse 29. Yet did I see him in Apama, the king's concubine, the daughter of the admiral Bartok, sitting at the right hand of the king. Verse 30. And taking the crown from the king's head, setting it upon her own head, she also struck the king with her left hand. Verse 31. And yet for all this the king gaped and gazed upon her with an open mouth. And if she laughed upon him, he laughed also. But if she took any displeasure at him, the king was fain to flatter, that she might be reconciled to him again. Verse 32. Verse 32. O ye men, how can it be but women should be strong, seeing they do thus? Verse 33. Then the king and the prince looked upon one another, and so he began to speak of the truth. Okay? So this is what the truth sounds like. All right? Verse 34. O ye men, are not women strong? Great is the earth, high is the heaven, swift is the sun and is his course. For he compassed the heavens round about and fetched his course again to his own place in one day. Verse 35. Is he not great that makes these things? Therefore, great is the truth and stronger than all things. Okay, that includes women. The truth is stronger than us. All right. Verse 36. All the earth cries upon the truth, and the heavens bless it. All works shake and tremble at it. Okay. With it is no unrighteous thing. Verse 37. Wine is wicked. The king is wicked. Women are wicked. All children of men are wicked. And such are all their wicked works. And there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also shall they perish. But, okay, verse 38, as for the truth, it endures. It is always strong. It lives and conquers forevermore. Verse 39, with her, talking about truth, there is no accepting of persons or rewards, but she does the things that are just and refrains from all unjust and wicked things. And all men do well like of her works. So those who do the truth, they do well. Okay. Verse 40, neither in her judgment is any unrighteousness, and she is the strength, kingdom, power, and majesty of all ages. Blessed be the Elohim of truth. Verse 41, and with that he held his shalom. And all the people then shouted and said, great is truth and mighty above all things. So even the truth overcomes all men and women. Okay? So the truth that women should not be adorning their head and their faces as that would cause the kingdom of heaven and of earth to fall. That is the truth. And the truth, no matter what anybody believes, whether you believe the truth or lie, is going to erase that. Okay? We need to stop being a source of temptation to the angels and to men. We need to be considerate of both. The angels minister to us daily. They do, protect, do mighty things for in the name of Yahuwah. Okay? They're protecting you right now. While people are doing evil stuff, they're protecting you right now. The Most High has sent them to protect you. Should they constantly have to deal with the adorning of your head and face on a daily basis while they're trying to serve him? So they won't do the same thing that the watchers did? They don't want to do that. They want to be able to, minister to you without having to feel like, now you may not see that in the physical realm, but that's what's going on in the spiritual realm. And this is what the Most High was revealing to me during my time of prayer this morning. This is why that is so serious. The thing about the makeup, the jewelry, is that serious. You have the power to cause these kingdoms to fall. And Yeshua is not going to be like, oh, okay, that's fine. No, he's going to be like, no, you can't come in my house. Remember what happened to the watchers? Remember what happened to all those men on earth that you didn't know were lusting after you? He's going to say, but you can say, but I called upon your name. I prayed there. He's going to say, you can't come to my house like that. I can't allow my kingdom to fall. No, y'all got too much power. I gave y'all too much power. I gave y'all too much power, but y'all have a lot of power. I don't want them to fall. Okay. So we need to be very considerate and stop, because we were programmed to do these things since our youth, since we were babies. Mamas are piercing their babies' ears, by the time they're 2-3 years old, putting lipstick on them. Y'all, really, this is why witchcraft is at an all-time high in our nation. And it's so very prevalent, not only in the world, but in the church. Yes, in the body of Mashiach. It is prevalent there too. The witchcraft and the sorcery, because of that adornment. But I don't know why. What's so hard? Why it's so hard for us to get rid of it? Don't we want to please the Most High? Don't we want not to be a source of temptation? Don't we not want to be a source of temptation to the angels and to men? But why? We don't even care about that. We make excuses. Oh, he don't care about that. He does. And you cannot make it into his kingdom doing that. It has to stop. I don't know what else to say. Anyway, it's my plea to you sisters. It's my plea. I don't know. I don't know why we so stubborn. Why are we so hard of hearing? Why are we so hard for us to change? I don't get it. I really don't. But I want to conclude with this. Okay. They said this is for the sisters in Messiah, sisters in Christ. Food for thought. We need to return to innocence. What the society taught us how to be, we need to throw that in the garbage. And if we profess Messiah, we profess Christ, we need to return to innocence. So I'm going to sing the song for you. Y'all might have known the song. I used to sing the song a lot when I was a teenager. But I'm going to paraphrase it so I can give glory to the Most High. Ready? Oh, I, 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 the return to innocence. Okay. It says, it starts with love, devotion, Don't be afraid to be weak. Don't be too proud to be strong. Okay. I paraphrasing it because, like I said, and it says, I say, just believe in YAHOWAH. Don't care what people say. Just follow YAHOWAH's way. Don't give up and use the chance to return to innocence. Oh, oh, okay, that's a little nice Native American beat in the end. So, with that, I will read this because I know this message might not be received at all. You probably fuss, complain, call me judgmental, holier than thou. Guy ain't concerned about all that. Who she thinks she is, y'all. All your opinions and all my opinions is not going to ever erase the truth. The truth is always stronger. It's stronger than wine. It's stronger than the king. It's stronger than women. It doesn't matter. So I will say what was said. I will end it like this. You may have seen the Oracle in the movie The Matrix, that scene. So for my sisters, I'm going to say, I'm sorry, kiddo. You have a good soul. And I hate giving good people bad news. Oh, don't worry. About as soon as you step, or more so, as soon as you close out this video, you'll start feeling better. You remember that you don't believe any of this truth stuff. Remember, you're in control of your own life. Here, take a cookie. I promise by the time you're done eating it, you'll feel right as rain. Shalom.